What's up, everybody? This is All Things Beer 510, and today we're going to be doing another editorial. But the topic is I don't. It's not controversial like my last editorial or rant, whatever that people want to call it. But this is any beer worth standing in line for? Us beer geeks and beer nerds, we go crazy over the newest release, the most hyped release from our favorite breweries, whether that is in California, LA, or the Bay Area, or Iowa, or, the South, or New York, or wherever. Is any beer worth standing in line for? And my answer to that is yes. I'm from the Bay Area. I currently live in Oakland, California, hence the 510 area code. And around the way, maybe an hour away from where I live, is Russian River Brewing. You guys know Pliny the Elder, Pliny the Younger, sour beer. Russian River, Vinny, is like a brewing god in the craft beer world. And Pliny the Younger, when it's released once a year, the lines are crazy for 2 weeks in February. This past February, a couple weeks ago during Beer Week, every day was a crazy line. I'm talking about, wrapped around the block. And an interesting topic actually came on my Instagram when people were arguing, Pliny the Younger is not worth waiting in line for. It's not what it used to be. It's overhyped. People overanalyze stuff. I was just at the Cellar Maker release with Trillium and Other Half. I knew that was going to be a crazy line. I ended up getting my full beer. But you know what? When you really think about standing in line for beer, it's not about just the beer. It's about being in line with people that love the same thing you love, sparking up a new conversation, meeting new people, just geeking out with your friends. It's more than just the beer. When I rate beer or when I review beer or I drink a beer, I'm not thinking about the hype. I'm thinking about the beer. So if Pliny the Younger, which I had and have had before, I'm just rating it against other triple IPAs. I'm not rating it against, is it, the best beer ever? That's my opinion, this person's opinion. That's subjective. So, I'm just trying to enjoy the beer. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's just enjoying the beer and having a good time. And if that's standing in line for a beer, who is you or anybody else to judge somebody standing in line for a beer? If you're standing in line for a beer, all my beer nerds, hate hearing that question. What you standing in line for? People looking at you funny. Like I said, I was at the Cellar Maker release in San Francisco. Busy area. Busy area. People were looking at us like we were crazy. There was about 400 people in line. People was like, "Oh, his shoes coming out. Why are you guys standing in line for?" Look, I stood in line for Jordans. I have stood in line for LeBrons. Like, so what? If you like something and you want to get it and you have to stand in line for it, so what? Like, and then you meet some new people. Like, I met a couple people in the Cellar Maker line that, are cool people. And like, we, talk about beer even after we was in line together. So it does not matter whether it's Jordans or, whatever sneakers hot. Don't judge them. People stand in line for donuts. I've seen them. People stand in line for coffee, like releases. Like, I've seen it. You go to Portland, you go to Voodoo Donuts, which is not the best donut place in Portland. There's still a line. You go to Blue Star Donuts in Portland, there's still a line. If you any crazy hype shoe, there's still a line. Whatever, that's, crazy or something popular, people stand in line for it. So what? It's like, it shouldn't bother anybody. And another thing that I do hate that craft beer nerds, other nerds do is like, no, that beer is not worth standing in line for, or I'm not chasing beer. Like, man, look, I'm a grown man. I have a full-time job. This is not my full-time job. I have a pretty well, off to do job. Just like a lot of people stand in a line for. People think that you stand in line for beer, that you don't have a job, that you don't have nothing to do, judging, a book by its cover because we're in a line to buy beer. We like drinking craft beer. We want this beer. I want a beer. If I have to stand in line to get it, then I'm going to stand in line to get it. No problem. It shouldn't be bothering people. People shouldn't judge other people. Craft beer shouldn't nerds shouldn't judge other craft beer nerds because they stood in line for a Toppling Goliath beer, or stood in line for a Treehouse beer, or a Trillium beer, or other half, or Monkish, or Moonraker, or whatever the case may be. So what? It's camaraderie. It's standing in line just to enjoy something that everybody loves. And I think people lose the big picture. Like this is something that people enjoy. People get good conversations going. People make friendships that probably even sometimes last years with people that they met in line. So I mean, people wait in line for Black Friday shopping. Nobody says nothing. That people wait in line for many things. So as far as the chasing beer thing and people saying, "Oh, there's plenty of great beer out there." There's great beer, but just like basketball players, there's Michael Jordans, there's Kobe's, and then there's you know B players, there's C players, there's D players. I don't want to hear nobody say that an A plus beer or an A beer that everybody can kind of agree on, whatever that beer may be. If you have to stand in line for that beer, then so be it. I don't want to hear nobody compare that to like a middle tier beer that sits on the shelf for a few months. Like it's not the same. Like people need to stop. There is overhyped beer. There is beer that maybe, instead of a 99, it's an 89. But guess what? An 89 is still probably a great beer. So, people need to stop over analyzing things. Enjoy the beer, enjoy the line, enjoy talking to people and meeting people from all over. You might make friends from different careers and build relationships that will help you in your personal life too. You never know who you're going to meet in these lines. So just don't judge people for standing in line for beer. Don't judge people for just doing something they love to do. It's not just about the beer. It's about the experience. It's about, just everything that comes with craft beer, something that we all love. So at the end of the day, guys, just enjoy what you're drinking. If something's bad or it wasn't worth standing in line for 5 hours, I mean, meet somebody, talk to somebody. Just don't stand out there and, be with the mean, mad face on the whole 5 hours. Make it fun. People were passing beer around at the release that I was at, and people loved it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just maybe a rant but, I just, at the Cellar Maker release a couple of weeks ago, some people was in line like, oh, this is not worth it. Like, dude, then get the hell out of the line. Like, I'm here to have a good time, enjoy myself, get some beer, and meet new people. And at the end of the day, that's what should matter. Other than that, that's just an editorial, nice video. And yes, my name is Chauncey. But yeah. So when you guys see me, you can say Chauncey. You don't have to say the All Things Beer guy or the 510 guy. My name is Chauncey. But All Things Beer is my MO on here. So until next time, you guys take care. Enjoy the beer. Stop overthinking the beer. And until next time, you guys take care. Peace.